Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I am so excited to share with you the next interview in my Be Good to You video series with a new friend of mine that I have just idolized for months and months and months in the background. Nancy Strauss she's just an awesome, awesome person. And I am blessed beyond words that she took the time out of her busy schedule to do this interview with me. So thank you so much, Nancy, for agreeing to do this with me.
Oh, of course. I'm honored and flattered, to be honest.
All right, well, let's see where this goes, okay? All right, so share with me your health story and how you weren't being good to yourself.
Well, I was a mom of 4 children. For my whole adult life, I struggled with weight and basically a lot of emotional eating. I was the eternal dieter. I wrapped my whole identity in dieting. If I wasn't dieting, I was talking about dieting, but I had major sugar addiction. Growing up Italian, the bread, the pasta, and sugar was just a staple. That was like a food group, and loved eating. And I was chasing carbs down with more carbs. I just couldn't get enough. And then when you're a stay-at-home mom, you're eating the peanut butter and jelly crust off their sandwiches, and hey, I'll have a strawberry frosted Pop-Tart too, and hey, I just ate a strawberry frosted Pop-Tart and they're wrapped together, and God forbid the other one goes stale, so you got to eat both, right? And then you realize I just had a third of the box, just me. And so I was that closet binger that would eat all of them and hide the evidence deep in the trash can. I was a closet binge eater, emotional eater. Maybe it was out of boredom. Boredom was a big trigger for me. Stay-at-home mom. So yeah, food and dieting was just my whole world. A yo-yo dieter, and I thought that's all there was out there. So
yeah, well, I can appreciate that. I used to inhale an entire box of Little Debbie's before I would get home from the grocery store. So I totally get that. It was one of those things. And then, like you said, it was carbs upon carbs upon carbs, and you were more affected by, oh, I just ate that, well, now I feel like this, and okay, well, I'll just eat this because I feel like this, and it was just this vicious circle, right?
And the food industry loved people like me because I would see the word low fat on the Rice Krispie treats, and they're only 90 calories each, and I would justify it like they're only 90 calories. Well, no, I had like 8 of them, and the wrappers were deep in the trash can. But if they were in the trash can and nobody saw it, maybe it didn't really happen. So I was really good at reading a label and seeing low fat, and that was, didn't mean it was low sugar, which turns to fat. But yeah, I was just good at justifying my addiction.
Yeah,
and not finding ways. And plus too, as a mom, and I babysat other people's children, I became the nurturer of others, and not as much attention. First of all, I didn't have the education to know what a big piece nutrition and healthy habits had on my life. But I was so focused on the little people that I didn't realize how important self-care was. And I was honestly only giving them a fraction of my full potential. And that's sad to me. I wish I could go back and change a few things for sure.
Well, absolutely. I think, as moms, especially, we're trying to give 110% out of an empty cup. And, for me, mine was a colander, and I was just trying to keep up with it. You know what I mean? So, so I completely understand. And I'm sure there's plenty of moms that are listening to this that can absolutely relate. So that's definitely something that happens. And I don't think we feel comfortable enough talking about it because it has, I'm an emotional eater. And it's instead of talking about it, we just own it and pretend that that's our title, right?
I feel too that there was a behavioral chain that happened since my childhood. You got stung by a bee, here's an ice cream cone. Or you went pee-pee in the potty, here's an M&M. And so that whole reward bribery system that I was raised on, I found myself doing with my kids. And, they're only kids, they get to have popsicles in the summer, and the ice cream man comes. And so food and treats and rewards, it was always food related. When honestly, looking back now, I'm like, wow, how about we earned, and for good behavior, we went out as a family and went bowling. Like, that never dawned on me because I wasn't raised that way. Mm-hmm. So now, knowing what I know, I wish I would love to get a message out to young moms to not make the same mistakes I did.
Absolutely. That was a big awakening for myself as well, because I rewarded myself all the time for workouts, all the time. So I get that. Totally get that. So
Yeah.
what habits and mental well-being practices do you do now to be good to yourself?
Well, it all came to a head when I didn't fit on a roller coaster. That was, you would think it would be all the diabetes in my family. You would think it would be my arthritis that hurt so bad I could barely walk. I had lots of reasons why I should get healthy, but it was literally the embarrassment of not fitting on a ride that finally got my attention, which had me looking for answers. And so when I found our program that helped me lose 54 pounds in 5 months, I was not only thrilled to have real answers on how to lose the weight in a proper way with proper nutrition, eating every 3 hours, 6 times a day, balancing my blood sugars, but it was the healthy habits I learned that really opened up my eyes to where I had gone wrong in the past and what I need to do if I am going to be healthy in the future. I mean, I'm 52 years old and I have grandchildren to live for, and I am just getting started. So I realized the value of eating right and walking, and I just started going to the gym. So I am a work in progress. Can't say I've always loved exercise, but I'm starting to. But what I found about myself is I am better when I'm accountable in front of others, because the old Nancy's still in there and she's ready to be visible again with those old bad habits. They can crop back in. But if you replace the bad habits by creating some new ones, if you're focusing on the new ones, it's like you can't focus on the floor and the ceiling at the same time. Like one thing has to get your attention, right? So just focusing on your healthy habits, such as, well, sleep is my favorite one. That's easy. I love sleep. But, being very mindful with the water, being accountable with the exercise, doing it with a friend, and coaching others really helps me keep my path straight. Because I'm the kind of person, just like when I was a closet binger, if I'm off quietly hiding, no one will know my secret, right? So staying accountable has been huge for me, and keeping all the healthy habits part of my daily routine. So this is 6 years I've kept my weight off, and that's never happened before. I always gain my weight back. So I'm thrilled. It's been a life changer.
That's awesome. Let me tell you, I hope that I look as good as you do as a grandma, because you are amazing. Oh my gosh, I can't, like, to hear you say, I'm my grandma, it just, wow, right? I mean, that's phenomenal, because your grandbabies see this and they can love on that, and you have the energy to be with your grandbabies. You have the energy to do things with your adult children. I mean, that is invaluable. You cannot put a price tag on that.
Yeah. And what's really cool is when my grown kids are proud of me. They see the change in me. And my son just became a health coach last night. And I see that they're adopting healthy habits. Better late than never. And I'm glad they didn't wait as long as their mom did. But it's just precious to see that maybe now they won't repeat those same mistakes when they start having children. And you know what? To be 100% instead of just a fraction of your potential is just, it's giving them what they deserve. So
that's awesome. So in closing, what advice would you give someone to be good to themselves?
To not think it's selfish. It's actually not thinking of the other guy. If you don't take care of yourself, they deserve a full you. And you might not know you don't feel good until you feel great. And then you're like, wow, I've been missing out, and I've been sluggish, and I had a sugar fog. And, when you take care of yourself, it's amazing how much more you can pour into others and be your best self. It's not selfish. It's like that whole thing with the oxygen mask in the plane. If you put oxygen on yourself, then you can better assist others. It's so true. So, there's no regrets here. I wish I did this. My regret is I didn't do this a long time ago.
Yeah, but I mean, now you can sort of look ahead 20, 30, 40 years, and what your life's going to look like. And I just know, hearing your story, that it looks so much different than what it could have been.
Yeah, I wasn't on a good road. This is the thing, look at what road you're on. And if you keep going on that road, it's really scary to think you might end up where you're headed. So are you on a good road or a road that's leading to someplace you don't want to be? So get your GPS out. and figure things out.
I love it. I'm not even gonna end. That is the perfect way to end this. Thank you
Oh,
so much, Nancy. You
you're
are
welcome.
awesome. You are a fountain of information. Thank you so much for loving on people and doing the hard work. And once again, thank you so much for agreeing to
You're
do this.
welcome. My privilege. Nice to spend the afternoon with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Sure.